Good afternoon, everyone. May I please, are there other registrants outside? May we request everyone to please take the front seats. Wala na. Okay, anyway, may we have the audiovisual for the invocation. We will have first the invocation followed by the national anthem and then remain standing for the PMAP hymn. May we request everyone to please stand.
Direct us, and your light guide us in everything that we do today. Let this coming together allow us to grow in love and service to you and to one another. Grant us the strength of will to carry out faithfully our duties and responsibilities and to use our talents for the good of everybody. May everything we do today begin with your inspiration and continue with your help. Let our activities always find its origin in you and through you reach completion. May all our thoughts, words, and actions be directed towards making your name and your love better known among men. You gave us a good trip and a peaceful day as we come here today. Let your holy angels watch over us and keep us safe on our way home. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. It's a very beautiful PMAP hymn. Before we start, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm May Baladad from Maliwas Asayam Ceramics and your director for this 2013 PMAP chapter. May I call on our president, of course, for the call to order. A big hand for Mr. Fidel Alcacin.
Thank you, Ms. May. Good morning. As president of PMAP Calabarzon chapter, I now officially open this 158th General Membership Meeting.
And we are privileged this afternoon to have with us the PMAP National GMM Committee Chairman, Ms. Grace Decena, to give us welcome remarks.
Thank you. I hope that we will be able to catch the keynote speech. Anyway, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Grace Decena. I was actually part of, I would say, Calabarzon many years ago because I used to work in Cavite at the Gateway Business Park. I was the first HR head of Cypress Semiconductor. And then I also moved to Hitachi after a few years. So my heart is very close to where you work and to, of course, to the Calabarzon chapter. Anyway, thank you for acknowledging that the PMAP hymn was very beautiful. I was part of the chorale that recorded the PMAP hymn several years ago. So thank you. And I'll extend that to the old chorale members. Anyway, so we are going to have, or we are having the first ever live streaming with GMM that's ongoing right now at the Crown Plaza. And I hope that we will be able to face the technical challenges because from here, being the kickoff point, we will also reach out to the other chapters and go live. So we will be, our target is really to have all our chapters be on live streaming while the GMM is ongoing, but at the same time, let you have the liberty to go on with your agenda for your regular general membership meeting. Okay, so anyway, on behalf of the GMM committee, thank you to President Fidel for accepting our offer to do the first live streaming with Calabarzon. And I hope to see more of you, not only through live streaming, but also through the different PMAP activities. And I wish you also good luck for your upcoming Luzon Summit. And if there's anything I can do to help, or if there's anything PMAP can do to help, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Grace, it's nice to know that that PMAP hymn was during that time pala, chorale. Do we still have that chorale? No more na. Siguro i-revive natin. I'll join the chorale, definitely. And, well, as mentioned, we're going to have the live streaming. Once we have the keynote speaker, we will stop for a while. But for the meantime, we will continue with our program. So may we proceed with the President's Hour. So this time our President will present the report. Once again, Mr. Fidel de Blasi.
Thank you, Ms. Grace, and thank you, Ms. Decena. Thank you for coming over and being part. PMAP Calabarzon chapter is very proud to be part of this historic event, the first ever high technology live streaming. Palakpakan po natin muli ang PMAP GMM committee for this very innovative project. And we can be assured that in the next or future GMM of the chapter, we will be in the live streaming process. No? So this is also our first in Lipa, Batangas, because our name is Calabarzon, and we are really expanding our presence in the region. And the That's why we are moving around in different provinces. Okay, so I have to cut my report and will give way to the Secretary Duque of keynote speech. Thank you.
Anyway, this is the first time. And of course, we will try to improve this. We'll see later, maybe we can connect better. Okay.
We actually record the proceedings of the GMM and then share it with you.
Yeah, better. Okay, so that's better. So we will just continue with our program. And let's go on with the President's report. Once again, Mr. Fidel Eblasin.
Wala na akong i-report. Joke only po. Okay, so as I said, anyway, this is i-record po yan, and then in the next GMM that we will have, mapapanood po natin. So it will be a two birds in one stone na event kasi habang tayo naghihintay, we are watching yung nangyayari sa national, sa President's report, and then yung kanilang main speakers, aside from the speakers natin sa chapter. So, what else? Kami po sa chapter ay nagpapakasipag, no? To bring mga services, programs aligned to the programs installed for us ng national as presented by President Grace Roman for her tenure as President for 2013. And isa po dyan is yung CHRM, the Certificate for Human Resource Management. Ito'y dadalhin dito sa Calabarzon. And iba pang mga IR programs. So please expect more programs from the chapter through the support of our national PMAP. So kahapon galing kami sa Quezon. We had an IR kapihan. And of course, itutuloy po natin yan in the next few months. Iikutin ulit natin until Rizal. At ang pinakamalaking event na ating pinaghahandaan ngayon ay nandyan sa ating yung mga flyers about PMAP, 7th PMAP Luzon Summit. At yung flyers na yan, including the programs, the plenary speakers, the keynote speakers, and we would like to solicit your support, no? Para sa sponsorships and exhibitors, kailangan natin para maging successful yung holding ng summit. At financially, we need the support of all members and companies na magjo-join sa atin. Today, we have a very exciting topic. This is new, no? Pero ito kailangan natin na ma-convince ang ating mga CEO, mga decision makers. Because this is now the name of the game ng industry. It is about lean thinking. At yan ay kinakailangan maintindihan natin. We will have an overview, but it will have more intensive programs na i-announce din namin. At sana yan it will help a company become competitive. So as an HR practitioner, isa yan sa mga tools na dapat nating malaman. Lalo na we are here in Calabarzon. Calabarzon has 44 industrial economic zones composed of 1,543 companies. Mga foreign investors. So we have to compete globally. So that is also the global mandate ng ating bagong president sa PMAP. So that's one, the lean thinking overview na ipipresent sa atin. And another very yung relevant topic na today na nangyayari sa atin is about small claims court. So we hope we will have more of GMM in Lipa, Batangas. At sana ay spread the word na mayroong PMAP existing sa Batangas. And gusto kong i-recognize ang mga Batanggenyo namin directors na nagtatrabaho for Batangas. First, Mr. Johnson Melo. Siya po ang DIC, Director in Charge. Of course, si Ms. May Baladan, Santo Tomas, Batangas. Ms. Cecil Terrible, Talisay, Batangas. Miss Barbie Flores, dyan sa Lima, Batangas. Yeah. Meron ba akong nalimutan mga Batangas dito? Locators. Ako ay Batangas locator din, dyan sa Lima and Calamba. Miss Ana Bukis Kaaway, yeah. Yeah. So, yung mga sila ay, tandaan po ninyo, you can coordinate with them for mga future programs natin sa chapter here in Lipa, Batangas. Marami po salamat.
Thank you, Mr. Fidel. And now we go on to a little change. We'll go first to the the lean thinking overview. And may I call on the Assistant Department Head of Yasaki Torres Manufacturing Inc., Miss Maria Verna Logo, for this lean thinking overview. May I call on Miss Logo, please? Hand, please.
Thank you po. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Can I ask everybody who has heard of lean? Lean thinking. Dalawa. Okay, so ay hintayin ko lang po yung presentation. So, medyo kinakabahan ako anong ginagawa ng technical person dito, sa in front of yung mga HR practitioners. So, I'll try as much as possible to explain to you ano po ba yung konsepto behind the lean thinking. Okay? So, I'd like to start with this plate, the new economics. Okay, nakalagay po dyan, old equation, cost plus profit equals price. Now, na-reverse yung equation. What happened? So, price minus cost becomes our profit. So, what happens to the profit? Napapansin nyo po ito? So, makikita nyo po there's a sandwich effect. Ano po? Yung profit becomes what? Becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. So now is the time of yung mga customer. Before it's us. We're like manufacturing. We're like God. This is our price. You buy it. Now it completely reversed. The story parang na-reverse yung story now. Customer is God. So this is our price. You take it, or we get another supplier. Di po ba? So, ito yung dilemma natin. So, ano gagawin natin as HR? What do we do as HR? Ano pong gagawin natin? Reduce cost. So now, maririnig po natin, siguro, lahat sa company natin, we need to reduce cost. We need to do the same thing in lesser cost. Di po ba? So, paano natin i-reduce? How? So, usually maglo-launch tayo ng cost reduction program, and then we said 10% across the board we reduce cost. So, what happens to the operation? Ano po mangyayari? Okay, can I ask? I saw some from yung manufacturing, some attendees from manufacturing. Pero am I making sense? Di po ba sabi natin, cost reduction, 10% across the board. What happens? What happens? The manager cries. Siguro balde-balde, how will I do that? Ano pa po? The manager cries. Siyempre, yung mga tao natin also cries. Why? Because, sir? There will be protest.
Tama yun, dahil magre-reduce ang cost, mag-iiyakan yun, ba't ganito, ganun.
So, mostly, affected are those, sabi natin, people. Those people. Pero sabi natin, people are the most important asset of the company. Pero, when we reduce costs, what happens? People na sinasabi natin most important asset of the company becomes the most affected by our cost reduction. Ano po? So now, what do we do? Hirap, ano po? Hirap. So now, meron po tayong ini-introduce na bagong konsepto on how to hindi naman po prevent the sandwich effect, but most siguro po is to mitigate yung effect nung sandwich effect na yon. Ano po? So, yun po yung i-relate ko sa inyo, how do we go about the lean thinking process. Now, as HR, ito po yung most important role in lean thinking. Kasi po, it's completely a break away from the traditional thinking kung paano natin nirarun yung business. So now, here comes HR. We need to prepare the organization to this break away from the traditional manufacturing system. Ano po? So, that's how I see the linkage between HR and the lean thinking. Ano po? So, next slide, please. Okay. So, now, ma'am, can you go back? Okay. Now, it's all about cost management, not cost reduction. Ano po? When we say reduction, yun tayo it's across the board. When we say cost management, it means nire-rationalize natin yung cost reduction. For example, engineering department, ano po? I'm from engineering department before. So, we're very streamlined operation. Pero when the cost reduction comes, magre-reduce pa rin kami ng 10%. What? Paano namin gagawin yon? So cost reduction. Pero bakit yung si HR, dami-dami pong tao, bakit ganon? Sila 10% din. So yun po yung, how do I call that? Yun yung, hindi masyadong maganda when we say cost reduction. So now the term in lean is cost management. Manage your cost so that you maaalagaan pa rin po natin. We give the same value pero at a lesser cost. Okay, next slide please. Okay, next one. Okay, so lean is less is more. When we say less is more, or pwede ring more for less, whichever you choose, lean means you do the same thing using the same resource. Ano yun? Magic. Magic ba yun? So later siguro papakita ko sa inyo kung paano natin gagawin. Next slide please. Next slide. Okay. Here's the view of a traditional manufacturing system. First step, quality by inspection. Yan. Siguro guilty po tayo lahat, ano? We rely on inspection to putting quality in our product. Di po ba? So, siguro sa services, inspection means naggawa ko ng report, then my supervisor checks my report, sign on it, then the next person noted by, etc. So, traditional, we rely the quality of our product on inspection. Ano po? Next slide, please. So, sabi natin, kailangan natin i-transform your organization natin so that we, sabi natin, less is more, di ba? Kailangan improve natin yung process natin so that less is more. So, what do we do? Sabi ng mga TQM practitioners, dapat ilagay natin yung quality doon sa loob ng mga proseso. Di po ba? So, what happens? What happens? Hindi po natin nakita, hindi po natin napansin that we put more inspection pala on yung mga sinasabi nating improvement. Ano po? Are you doing less with more? Or are you doing less for more? No. Di po ba? Because in reality, you put more for the same thing. Okay, next slide please. Okay, so ayan na naman si TQM. Okay? So sabi ni TQM, you embed quality into the process. So what happens? You put more inspector. So for the output of process A, you give one inspector. For the output of process B, you put more inspector. What happens? Are we less is more? No? Diba? We're actually putting more and more. Ano po? So, actually, yan yung siguro, yun po yung one of the tinatawag nating departure from the traditional thinking. Yan po yung role of HR. Paano ko i-ready yung organization that we cannot rely too much on inspection for the quality of our product. Next, please. Okay, next po. Okay, in the lean manufacturing setting, may nakita po kayong inspection. Lean manufacturing setting. Do you see any inspection? Wala. Ano po? Why? Why? Bakit po walang inspection sa lean manufacturing? Yes. Why? Why there's no inspection? Man?
Because the product has already a quality.
Okay, so if you want to improve your quality, you improve your process. Why? Because quality is a function of your process. So kung good yung process mo, you have quality product. Pero if your process is bad, how do you expect yung quality? Okay? So next. So for the service, so ito po yung example niyan. It's a multiple layer of inspection for a report siguro, for a purchase order, for a, ano pa po ba? Mga bank transactions, etc. So, multiple layer of inspection. Next. So, what is a lean process? Next. Okay, so there are 5 principles to the lean thinking process. So, the first principle is precisely specified value by specific product. Now, I'll ask you, when I say value, ano po ba yung value? When we say value, what is it? Sabi dyan, precisely specify value. So when we say value, what is it? Value. Sir ulit. Sir, when I say value po, ano po?
For me, value, increase ng ano siya, ang worth niya tumaas.
Yung worth niya tumaas. Ibig sabihin po, I'll give an example. Ano po? When I buy, hindi ako nabili ng Lacoste, pero example ko lang. Ano po? When I buy a Lacoste shirt, I buy a Lacoste shirt, what happens? When I buy Lacoste shirt, di po bang ganda ng paper bag, ano? Paper bag. So, when I take out the shirt from the bag, ano yung makikita kong una? Okay, it could be a box. It could be a box. Ang ganda din ng box. Wow. Okay. So, when I open the box, what will I see? What will I see? So yung t-shirt is siguro wrapped in a special paper. Di po ba? Okay, so it's wrapped in a special paper. Now, ano yung binili ko? Packaging. Ano yung binili ko? What did I buy? Di po ba yung t-shirt? Okay. So when we say value, it's what I am willing to pay for as customer. Di po ba? I'm willing to pay for the t-shirt, not the packaging. Now, for example, nalaman nyo, yung cost ng packaging is 500 pesos. So more or less makikita mo na kung yung cost lang pala ng Lacoste shirt is about 2,000 pesos. Yung 500 goes to the packaging. Are you willing to pay for 2,500? Bibili pa rin kayo, syempre. Ano po? But, ayun po yung exactly the definition of the value that we are talking about indeed. Now, pwede pong magtanong, ma'am, sa industry po kayo?
Sa Imperial Banking po. Sa Imperial.
For example, banking. Banking, lahat tayo nagbabangko, di po ba? So ano yung value that we are willing to pay for the bank? What yung value?
The good customer service.
Okay. Okay, bakit tayo nagbabangko? It could be, lagay natin sa context of payroll. Kunyari, payroll sa bangko. So, kapag nag-select ka ng bangko for your payroll, ano yung value na hinahanap natin? Security? Ano pa po? Efficiency? Dapat laging may pera yung ATM? Ano pa po? Accuracy? Dapat laging correct yung amount. Okay? So that's the value that I'm willing to pay for. Okay? So, I go to the bank, pumila ako sa ATM for siguro mga swelduhan ano po, so medyo mahabang pila. So siguro mga 10 minutes, I lined up dun sa bangko. So, am I willing to pay for yung waiting time ko? Di ba hindi? Ano po? So that is exactly yung value na pinag-uusapan natin. Ano po? Kapag ang produkto ko ay ganito, ano ba yung willing na bayaran ng ating mga customer? Okay? So number 2 is identify the value stream for each product. When we say value stream, it's yung flow. Ano gang, ayan, yung taga Batangas, ano bang pinagdadaanan ng produkto ko bago makarating dun sa end user? Okay. Ano po ba? So, kunyari, yung Lacoste shirt, okay? So, kinat yung tela, anong ginawa? Tinahi yung tela, inattach yung sleeve, inattach yung collar. That's the value stream na pinag-uusapan natin, na pinagdadaanan ng proseso. Now, in the service department, the flow is not very evident. Ano pa hindi natin makita whether yung mga work is nagpa-flow or hindi. Ano po? True? When I file a purchase order, hindi ko alam kung nasaan na yung purchase order, anong pinagdadaanan ng purchase order na yon, etc. So, the flow in the services department, hindi ko siya makikita. Ano po, that's why, siguro sasabihin nyo, anong gagawin ng lean manufacturing na to sa office? Ano po, hindi ko makita yung flow. Okay? Yun po yung big challenge for yung mga service provider. Okay? So, once we've identified the flow, we need to make that process flow. Ifo-flow po natin siya. Ibig sabihin, I'll give an example. If yung purchase order goes to kanino, goes from ako yung nag-prepare, goes to my manager for checking. So, kung yun yung kasunod ko, bakit siya nandun? Okay? So, paano magpo-flow yon? So, kung ako yung nag-prepare, ang mag-check na sa kabilang building, what happens sa akin na nagpe-prepare? So, what happens? Di po ba iba-batch ko? Ay, ang layo ng building. So, siguro mga intayin ko pag naka-20 na ako, saka ako dadaling dun sa kabila. So, yun yung konsepto natin. Binabatch po natin so that, kasi layo eh, para naman masulit yung pagpunta ko doon. Ano po? So, it's not flowing. Ibig sabihin, yung mga tao, nasan yung ni-request ko na ano? Nasan yung ni-request ko na kunyari hand gloves? Parang nung isang buwan ko pa siya ni-request. Bakit hanggang ngayon wala pa? Why? So, hanapin niyo yung purchase order. It's sitting, siguro, kung kanino mang desk. Ano po? So, yun po yung kapag hindi nagpo-flow yung process natin, what happens is, siguro may nawawala. Ano po? Yung mali, hindi natin nakikita kaagad. Okay? So, let the customer pull value from the producer. Ano yung pull? When we say pull, paano yun? Pull. When I say pull, kinukuha ko sa inyo. Ano po? So, meaning, yung work should actually be kinukuha talaga sa inyo. Hindi yung pinupush natin yung work natin. Anong example? I could give an example po sa training. Example ko, personal experience in training department sa YTMI. Magte-train kami ng 1,000, kunyari 100. At any given batch, we do 100. Ano po? So what happens? Pupush namin yun sa ano, ito, natapos na namin siya. So what happens to that 100? Eh, ano pa pala, endorsement pa ho pala 2 months. Ano po? After 2 months pa yung endorsement. So what happens to 100? So what happens? Siguro po ang may endorse doon is just 40%. So what happens to 60? It's a loss for the company. Nag-invest na ako ng pera doon, so walang nangyari. Ano po? So yun po yung isang example because I'm pushing. Kasi gusto ko yung department ko lagi may output. Kailangan may output ako lagi. So because, ang thinking ko dapat nag-output ako every day. So what happens? I'm pushing my output to another department. So what happens? Walang saysay. Ano po? So that's an example for the service. So let the customer pull value. Kung humingi siya sa'yo ng 50, bigay mo lang 50. Even if your capacity is 100, kasi amin ko yung 50, hindi ko siya magagamit. Okay? So that's an example for service department. And then pursue perfection. So okay, let me run through the principles. Specify value. So identify the value stream. So let the value stream flow and pursue perfection. Pursue perfection means ano po? Pursue perfection means continually improve the system. Okay? Next. Okay, so these are, in summary, the 5 principles is let the value stream flow according to the customer pool and pursue perfection. So, ibig sabihin po, as HR practitioner, how do we pursue perfection? Kasi once nag-okay yung system natin, there's the tendency to sit. Ano po, and be happy, and then hindi po natin napansin, naiiwan na ulit tayo ng competition. Okay, next. Okay, so I'd like to give you an example. Kunyari po, nagmamanufacture tayo ng computers. Okay? So, this is a traditional mass production thinking. yung process natin are grouped according to the process. For example, there's a computer-based department, there's a computer monitor department, and computer testing department. Okay? Since our processes are grouped according to ano ba yung ginagawa niya, ano po? Ganun pa rin po tayo. So, kunyari, merong inspection lang siya lahat. Kung merong, ano pa? Kunyari, may molding lang siya lahat. So ano pong nangyayari? Yung material natin is moving from one department to another. So the material is the one that is moving. Ano po? So in this example, before the work pieces are moved, binabatch niya by 10. Ano po? So if kunyari po, ang time to do one computer base is 1 minute, one computer monitor is 1 minute. Kailan po lalabas ang unang produkto ko? Kailan po lalabas? Using this production system. Kunyari pera yan. Kunyari pera po yung binibilang natin. Ma'am, from banking, can you give me an example po? Anong department? Di po ba may... Okay. So, when is my first output coming out from the system? Okay, so when is the first output? If all of these, may cycle time na 1 minute, when is my first output coming out? 3 minutes? 20 minutes? So many minutes? Okay. And minutes? Okay, so when is my first output coming out from the process? Okay, so my first output will come out in 31 minutes. Go back. So that's my first output coming out in 31 minutes. Now, tatanungin ko, kunyari pera yan, ano po? Sweldo natin yan. Okay? Sweldo natin siya. So, yung sweldo ko, pupunta muna doon sa isang department. Okay? So, that department, binabatch niya. Ay, mamaya na kasi wala pang 10 eh. Ang economic lot quantity. Ano po, di po ba? Eh, kasi dapat daw para economical. Yung proseso ko ay kada 10 ko i-move to another department. Okay. So, nag-iipon ako ng 10 and then nakaipon ako ng 10. Then, I go to the next department. Ito na yung sweldo natin ha, sweldo. Okay? So, sabi ulit nung process 2, binabatch ko din eh. Binabatch ko din. So, kailangan 10 before I move to the other department. So, kunyari, sweldo ngayon, ano po? So, you expect your salary to be by 7 a.m. today. Pero dahil binabatch niya, so yung sweldo mo naging 7:31 in the morning. So, what happens? Delay. Ano pong maiisip niyo?
Magagalit na yung susweldo.
Pag pera, magagalit na tayo. Ano po? Pag sweldo na yung pinag-uusapan, medyo hindi na siya okay. Pero, kung produkto din ang pinag-uusapan, kunyari, it's a pizza. O, ba't ayaw mo panghiran yung pizza ko? Bakit ang tagal ng services mo? Ma'am, 31 minutes pa ho eh. Kasi naghihintay pa ako ng another order. Kasi po, ang batch ng aming oven is 10. So, are you willing to wait? No. Di po ba? So it's the same. Okay? So, lean thinking or lean manufacturing, hindi lang yan pang manufacturing. It's also for services. So, yun nga lang po, paano natin i-merge or i-apply yung tool sa ating mga trabaho. Ano po? So, okay? First output in 31 minutes. Next slide, please. Ay, ayun pala. Next slide. Okay. Now, it's lean thinking. So, sabi ni Lean, let the value stream flow. Okay? Flow. The keyword is flow. Okay? So, anong ginawa ni Lean Manufacturing? Ginroup niya into product. Kunyari, ano bang pinagdadaan ng proseso ng produkto ko? Kasi sabi natin, let the value stream flow. So, ifo-flow niya. So, ang ginawa niya, si computer-based department, si computer monitor department, inilagay niya sa isang cell. Kumbaga, make one and move one. So, when do you think is my first output coming out using this setup? Okay. So, my first output is coming out in 3 minutes. Now, which is better? 31 minutes or 3 minutes? Okay? So, 31 minutes, 3 minutes. O kunyari, pizza ulit yan. 31 minutes, 3 minutes. 3 minutes, syempre. Di po ba? Now, kung yan yung product, totoong produkto, ano po? So, sa totoong buhay na po tayo. So, bakit mas preferred nyo ngayon ang itong one-piece flow? So, sabi natin, I make one, I move one. So, bakit? Bakit mas maganda siya? So, mas maliit yung time na magagamit ko. So, may output. Ano ngayon kung may output agad ako? Siguro sasabihin ng iba, bakit ko kailangan pabilisin? Weekly ang delivery ko. So, wala yung saysay sa akin. So, bakit? Bakit nyo po gugustuhin na 3 minutes siya, pero weekly ang delivery nyo eh? So, bakit siya importante? Ma'am?
Hindi na itatanong ko sa'yo kasi yan yung pinasiran sa akin ng mga tao. Kasi pinipili ko using batch, one by one.
Okay. Tatanong pala sa akin. Okay. So, si Sir.
Wala akong idea dyan dahil nasa services ako. We're not in manufacturing. So, guys, may back.
Sir, kasi yung sabi ni ma'am, bakit ko naman pabibilisin weekly naman ang delivery ko? Bakit kailangan ko 3 minutes yung first output ko ano naman?
Because time is diamond.
Mas mahal sa gold. Diamond na, mas mahal sa gold. Okay, so, bakit nga ba? Yun yung mahirap ibenta, no po? Why would I flow when nasanay na ako sa batch Diba? Why would I flow? Why? Kunyari, binatch ko 10. May defective pala. What happens? Kailan ko makikita yung defective? Hindi. Kunyari po, there's defective units pala on the 5th item. So what happens? Kailan nyo makikita? Okay? So on your 26th output, noon mo palang makikita na may defect. Okay? So, bakit kailangan ko i-flow? It's because of, sabi natin, build quality into your process. So, build quality into the product. So, how do I do that? I-flow mo. Bakit? Because right away, if the material or if the process is flowing, okay, galing sa kanya, nagpunta dito, defective, So, right away, you correct. Identify mo kaagad, oops, may defect, we need to solve the problem right away. Okay? Nag-batch siya ng 10, may problema pala. Minove mo yung 10, how many defective products do you have? How many? Binatch ko ng 10, may problema yung makina ko, minove ko yung 10, how many defective products do I have? How many?
Most probably 20.
Okay? So, most probably 20. Okay? So, yan yung... Bakit ko i-flow? Bakit ko pabibilisin? Ano po? It's the answer. Okay. Bakit ko pa ulit pabibilisin? Ano pa? Kunyari, is it also ganito sa inyo po? Kunyari kasi sa amin, sabi niya, oops! Kailangan kong i-revise yung product. Ngayon na, i-revise mo yung product. So what happens? If your lead time is 31 minutes, kailan ka makakasagot doon sa sa gusto nilang revision? Di po ba after 31 minutes pa? Now, if you're flowing your process, 3 minutes yung process flow. So, sige, in 5 minutes or in 6 minutes, I'll give you the first output. Okay? So, lean allows yung process natin to be flexible. You can respond immediately to customer changes. Ano po? So, sabi natin in our initial talk, sinabi natin that the customer is God. So, when he say, I need that in 6 minutes, not in 31 minutes. So, you can respond right away. Okay? Next. Sir, magbe-break po kasi. Okay, so faster means better in flow. If you're okay, you can take po your break while I'm talking. Okay, next. Next. Okay. Now, I'd like to give an example. Do we have productivity programs in our companies? Meron po ba? Productivity programs, example QCC, idea suggestion, etc. Do you have that? Yes, ma'am. Okay, so this is an example for process improvement, traditional versus lean thinking. So sabi ni sir, 200 by 10 units, at 200 units by 10 persons, hindi, improvein ko yan. Gagawin kong mas efficient yung process ko. I'll make 250 by 10 persons. So sabi ni customer, 200 nga kailangan ko eh. Hindi, mas efficient ako kasi mas marami akong output. Okay? So look over yung mga productivity programs natin. Ganun ba yung efficiency? If I make more, I'm more efficient. Okay? I make more. Service. Sir, I'll give you an example sa service. So, sabi ni example ko po, PO. Kunyari, PO. Sabi nyo dun sa staff nyo, improve your process. Improve your process. So, sabi niya, sir, sige po, kaya ko magawa ng 250 na PO in a day. Okay. Teka lang, 200 lang kailangan ko eh. 200 lang kailangan ko. Hindi nga ako 215 kaya kong gawin. Is that efficient or not? Okay? Baka yung pangkinabukasan niya, gagawin na niya yung 50 na yan. Ano po? So, is that efficient? Okay? That's false efficiency. We call that false efficiency. Siguro may malamang ano po. Kasi, that's false efficiency. So, what's true efficiency? Sige. 10 kayo, 250 ang output nyo, bawasan mo ng isa. That is the real efficiency. That is real improvement. Ano po? So why? Kasi I do more, I do the same for less. Di po ba? Less resources pero I'm doing the same thing. Okay? So yun po, at tingnan po natin yung mga ginagawa po nating mga productivity programs. May mga ganun. Sir, dati 100 na gagawa ko, ngayon 120. Be careful. Ano po? That could be a false efficiency. Next slide. Okay. Another example, traditional versus lean thinking, we're looking at individual efficiency. So we say that a process or an organization is a collection of several subsystems. Di po ba? So it could be engineering, lagi akong manufacturing. So siguro sa banking. So ano pong mga department sa banking?
Loans department, accounting.
Okay, I'll apply a loan. Apply ako ng loan, ano? So, saan dadaan yung papers ko? So, I file a loan. Kunyari, ang sabi dun sa fast processing, you can take your loan in 24, ano po yun sa mga bangko? Fast processing in 24 hours, you get your loan. Okay? So, apply ako hoping na bukas makukuha ko yung loan. Ito ba? Sabi niyo 24 hours eh. Okay? Final ko yung loan. Saan pupunta yung paper ko? Saan pupunta? So, sa desk ni loan officer, what happens to the paper? Mag-iipon muna siya. Kasi, mag-iipon muna ako. Why? Kasi, bibigay ko dun sa anong tawag dun? CI? Sa credit investigator. So, kailangan mga 20 or 20 ang ipapas ko sa kanya. Okay? Ano to service. Naka-10 na ako, I'll move to the credit investigator. So, what happens? What happens? So, bukas na to dadating sa credit investigator. So, patay na yung 24 hours ko. Di ba? Okay. So, tatawag si customer bukas. Ready na po ba yung loan ko? Hindi pa kasi nasa credit investigator pa. So, what happens to the customer? Sabi niyo 24 hours. Kasi mo, ganun. Okay. So, sige na nga. Bukas po, i-check nyo na lang ulit. Okay? So, from the credit investigator, saan pupunta? Proving. Ano po? I-approve. So, siguro it takes another day. Okay? So, okay na po ba yung loan ko? Hindi pa po. For approval pa po. Okay. So, sige. Tawag na lang ulit ako bukas. Okay? Goes to the next. Okay, releasing na ng pera. So, what happens to the 24 hours? Okay, so what do you think the customer feels? How would the customer feel? Disappointed, pero dahil hostage. Hindi, syempre nagdo-down ka. Diba? So yun po yung sinasabi natin. So if the process is not flowing, that is what is happening. Okay. So kunyari, disapprove yung loan ko, I would know it on the 4th day. I cannot know it right away. Okay? So kunyari, yun nga, kulang ako ng defective yung application ko. I'll be able to know it on the 4th day. Opo. So yun. Okay, so yun po yung, kunyari, sasabi ni ma'am, ang bilis mag-process ni ma'am, pero yung sumunod kong sistema sa akin is mabagal. So it's not an overall efficiency, but efficiency lang ng isang department. Okay, next slide. Next na lang po. Okay? So medyo nakikita nyo po yung ano, medyo nakikita nyo po traditional thinking, lean thinking. So medyo nakikita nyo po yung difference. Ano po? So basically, ito po yung foundation of the lean system. So how do we go about lean? How do we go about lean? So there's a process. And the first process is to make your system stable. So next, once your system is stable, you need to standardize. And then, yung lean thinking is founded on, there's two pillars, yung just-in-time and Jidoka. Okay? And the roof is customer focus. Bakit ba ako nagtatayo ng bahay na ganyan is really for customer satisfaction. Okay, next slide. Okay. Na-recall nyo po, yung first step is to make yung processes natin stable. Okay? Now, there are 3 M's affecting stability. Yung first po dyan is yung tinatawag nating muda, mura, and muri. So, those are the 3 M's. Those are Japanese terms for yung muda is waste, mura is unevenness, and muri is overburdening people. Next na. Okay, so what is muda? So, muda is waste, sabi natin kanina. Now, can you give me an example of muda? So, sabi po dyan, any activity the customer is not willing to pay for. Okay, if you would recall the Lacoste t-shirt. So, what's waste? Packaging is waste. I'm not willing to pay for the packaging. So, sir, can you give me an example of waste in your operation? Sir.
Yung ma'am, yung break time. Minsan napahaba yung break time niya. Instead na babalik na siya dun sa trabaho niya, napahaba yung break time niya. So doon lang time wasting, di ba? Nasa construction services kami at saka security.
Okay. So, ayun, sabi ni Sir, waiting. Waiting is waste. Kunyari, yung customer mo, kasi sabi niyo, office hours, 8 to 5. Dumating ako 12:30. 12:30. Ay, ma'am, break time. Lock pa po yung resume namin. Ano ba? So, what happens? Oh, makaalis na nga, makalipat na sa iba. So, that is what will happen. Kung merong ibang choices, yung mga customer natin, that's what will happen. Okay? So, ano pa po? Example of waste. Inspection. So, sabi natin, inspection. Kunyari, si Sir Fidel yung inspector ko, in-inspect niya. Is he making value? Nadadagdagan ho ba ang quality kapag in-inspect ni Sir Fidel? Nadadagdagan po?
Sino sasagot?
Depende.
Tanong natin dito.
Okay, nadadagdagan po ba yung value ng report kapag in-inspect ni Sir Fidel?
Hindi.
Okay, so can we say inspection is a waste?
Not exactly a waste.
Okay, not exactly a waste, but ano tawag din na?
Control to flow out the no good product.
Okay,
If there is a no good product,
Okay, so is it adding value?
it's not.
Not. So inspection is a waste. Okay? In-inspect niya, na-add ba yung value? Naiba ba yung itsura? No. So inspection is a form of waste. Yan.
Oh, Hindi naman daw pwedeng walang
Oo
inspection.
nga, sir. Next po. Next. Next na lang na. Okay, so there are 7 types of ways. Sir, yan yung ano yan yung siguro medyo dyan tayo HR, kailangan. It's, how do I cause that change to happen? How do I cause that a shift in thinking to happen?
Miss Berna,
So, dyan papasok.
mayroong open question. Kung meron daw ba namang kumpanya na walang inspection? So, how do we explain na may importance din ang inspection?
Wala po.
Walang importance?
Hindi, wala pong company that there's no inspection siguro. Pero yun nga, inspection is at the moment. Kunyari, you have a lot of quality problems. You have a lot of quality issues. You put more inspection. Okay, so syempre kailangan may inspection. Pero what happens to inspection? That becomes a waste if that inspection remains an inspection as long as your company exists. Ano po? Nawala yung continuous improvement. Di po ba? So, if we know that inspection is a form of waste, pero it's necessary at the moment, does it remain inspection as long as the company exists? Si Sir nagtatanong sa akin kanina. Ako. Kasi po, sabi niyo, meron ba namang company walang inspection?
Yung inspection, in my opinion, is not per se to assure the quality of the product. Parang yun ay trust ng about the system. Because in theory, we don't want a failure in the process. But they say even God fails. I don't know if you will agree. So meaning, kailangan ng parang trust kasi sa pagkalahatan is the trust of the customer, the protection of the brand. Once you have even 1 in 1 million that goes out of the customer, and that customer is very boisterous, then there's a big problem. Then your brand will be affected.
Okay.
So yun.
So yun, there's no company that there's no inspection. So what's wrong is, if that inspection remains, kunyari, if you have 300% inspection, meaning 3 inspection stations, and that 3-station inspection remains 3 station for as long as the company exists, that is what's wrong. Di po ba? Kasi where's continuous improvement? So sabi natin, to be able to satisfy our customer, to be able to survive. Di ba po sabi natin, it's all about yung, can I compete globally? Can I be competitive in the next 5 years? So we need to have improvements. Ano po? So that 300% inspection should not be 300% inspection as long as the company exists. Improve on your process. Okay? So yun po yung answer. So these are the 7 types of waste. I think it would be good kung if we go back to our offices, we take a look. Meron ba akong overproduction? Meron ba akong waiting? Meron bang transportation waste, etc. Okay, so we go one by one to the 7 types of waste. Punta na tayo sa waste. Ay, wala. Sige, go back na lang. Go back. Okay, when we say overproduction, that's the example I gave a while ago. 200 yung kailangan ng customer, pero you give 250, what happens to the 50? So, it's an overproduction. Bakit po overproduction? Because yung investment mo to the extra 50 will not be recovered right away. Ano po? So that's overproduction. Now, waste in waiting. Can you give me an example? Waste in waiting. Meron po bang mga POs that is waiting to be signed? Meron po bang mga materials that is waiting to be processed? Meron po bang work in process that is waiting to be inspected? So those are waste in waiting. Okay? Next. Transportation. Waste in transportation. So, can you give me an example of waste in transportation? Transportation. Okay. Can you give me an example po for waste in transportation? When we say transportation, ibig sabihin nagmo-move. Transportation. Sir.
In our company, before, we have to portion the first floor and the second floor. Products move from the ground floor to the second floor. We move these products by means of one person doing it, going up the stairs before it transferred to the secondary process. Now, what the company did is that we provided a dumb waiter from ground floor to the second floor, minimizing or cutting the transportation by 70% and removing some headcount for that purpose.
Okay, so yon, transportation, from the explanation of Sir, transportation means the material is moving around, the material. Okay, why? Bakit ayaw nating mag-move yung materials? Why? Kunyari, it's a PO. Bakit ayaw ko siya mag-move from one place to another? Bakit sinabi niya it's a form of waste? Why?
Another siya. Yes.
Baka?
Thank you very much.
Dito naman si Sir naman. Baka?
Baka mawala.
Baka mawala.
Baka ma-damage.
So we don't like the materials moving around because it might get damaged. So sabi natin, quality. Put more quality into the product. Pero if you're moving the materials around and around, there might be lost materials, there might be damaged materials. Okay? Over-processing. Can you give me an example of over-processing? Guilty tayo lahat dyan. Over-processing means putting more to what is expected. Anong ibig sabihin? Mahilig po tayo sa yung mga high-tech. Uy, computerize natin yan para mabilis yung processing natin. Okay? Dapat yung PO natin computerize, etc. So, minsan, anong kinomputerize natin? Yung, kunyari, ang pangit ng PO system namin kasi ang daming nawawala, etc. And then sabi, sige, computerize natin. Do you think the problem is gone? Kinomputerize mo yung PO mo? No. Bakit? Kasi in-automate mo lang yung bad system mo. You just automated your bad system, so what happens? You make your inefficiency more efficient. Ano po? So yung inefficient mo na PO ay ginawa mo pang mas efficient kasi kinomputerize mo siya. So that's an example of over-processing. Okay, next, excess inventory. Excess inventory. Sir, you're from the construction business. Ano po, di po ba may mga materials tayo? Ano? So, when you say excess inventory, can you give me an example? Kunyari, simento, ano po? So, you put inventory of cements. Okay? So, bakit ayaw natin ng excess? Kunyari, sabi natin, uy, mura ngayon ng semento, mag-i-stock ako ng madami. Di po ba? Mura ngayon, dapat bumili ako madami, i-stock ko. So, sabi ni Lynn, excess inventory is no good. Ano sinasabi mong no good? Mura nga siya ngayon. Okay? So, bakit ayaw natin ng excess inventory? Okay, storage space. Ano pa po? Quality, tumitigas yung simento. Ano pa po? Storage space. Pera. Okay. Okay? Yung pera mo nakatali. And then ano pa po? Storage space. Your money that is not moving. Ano pa po? Obsolescence, yung tumigas yung simento. Ano pa po? Now you need people to watch over your inventory. Okay? And now, you need more people to linisan yung storage area mo, etc. Now, you need people to check matigas na ba itong simento or hindi, etc. Okay? That's why we don't want excess inventory. So, meron akong example in the office, because we have central warehouse for, office supplies, mga ball pens, mga papers, etc. Okay? So, nung nag-check kami, what happens? Makikita nyo po, there's a lot of yung ball pen, yung pentel pen, obsolete forms, etc. So, as simple as that, because of excessive requests ng mga office supplies, so we needed, siguro ganito po, half of this room to house yung mga office supplies namin. And because there's so many stocks in it, so lahat sila is obsolete na. Ano po? So, that's an example of excess inventory. Okay? Unnecessary movement or motion. Can you give me an example? Yes, ma'am.
Since we are in clean room business, definitely unnecessary movements by everybody affects the particle count inside the clean room.
Meaning it's a waste in motion. So, I think ito yung HR. We talk about respect for people. Gusto ko, concerned ako sa safety ng aking mga tao and so on. So when yung mga tao natin is, kunyari, reaching, parang nagbabalay to reach for a card, nagbubuhat ng sobrang bigat, etc. Those are example of unnecessary movements. Because it wears out yung tao natin. Okay, defects, yan. Siyempre, yung mga products that is not meeting expectation. And number 8 is unused employee creativity. So, example, unused employee creativity. So, ito po yung isa sa transformation ng Japan. So, we treat people for their hands. Di po ba? Ibig sabihin, parang we're paying the people for their hands. So, we think yung tao is magagamit lang natin for yung lakas in their hands. Now, ito yung transformation ng Japan. They recognize that people have both hands and brains. Ano po? Hands and brains. So, why not use both? Why not use both? So, yun po yung tinatawag nating unused employee creativity. We need to engage more yung mga tao natin to improve yung processes natin. Okay, next slide. Next. Okay, so may question po kayo. Question on the 7 ways. It's a good exercise when we go back to our offices. Meron bang mga ways lurking around dun sa mga processes natin? Kasi sometimes if you see one and you go deeper, you find more. Ano po, you find more. And it's a good way to start yung mga lean thinking efforts natin. Ano po? Okay? So, question po. You have question? Okay. So, you have questions po? Wala. Sige. Okay. So, sabi po natin there's 3 M's affecting stability ng company. So, you cannot implement lean thinking on a process that is not stable. Ano po? So, you need to make your process more stable, and one of the things that is causing our process not to be stable is unevenness or fluctuation in work. What do we mean by that? So, an example is, kunyari, this month, overtime tayo. Overtime. We work 24/7, we work lahat ng araw in a month. And then the following month, what happens? 3 days lang tayo, or shutdown muna tayo, etc. So, what happens? Ano mangyayari? Pinag-adob lang no? So, what happens is, yung skill ng mga tao, nagpa-fluctuate, up and go down, up and down, and up and down. And that is one way of, creating mga bad products. Kasi, when you overburden your people, what happens? There's a tendency to create defects. Why? Kasi na yun exhaustion. Ano po? When you overwork your people. Now, when you make them work, kunyari, 3 days in a week, etc. So, what happens naman to their efficiency? Di po ba it will go down? Why? Because meron ngayon, bukas wala. Meron ngayon, bukas wala. So, it does not help in any way kung paano natin i-improve yung skill ng tao natin. Okay? So, that's why mura, unevenness or fluctuation in work, we don't want that in our process. Now, ang question is, paano yun? Maraming order ngayon, bukas wala. Paano gagawin ko? How? Hirap, ano po? So, kahapon, 2,000 yung order ko, ngayon 500. So, yun yung sitwasyon ng industriya natin, di po ba? So, anong gagawin natin? Yun yung big question. Okay? Next. Muri. Commercial. I'll finish that. Okay? So, Muri is difficult operation. It means difficult operation. Okay, kung mahirap yung ginagawa ng tao, it becomes, it's a source of quality issues. Okay? So, marami pa pong tools to lean thinking. Hindi ko po na-discuss yung tools, but just the overall concept of the lean thinking. So, siguro po, in mga later sessions natin, we'll have some of the tools. Okay? So, meron lang po akong konting exercise. Can I ask everybody? My palm is facing up, di po ba? My palm is facing up. Now, How do I make this palm face down? Konting exercise lang po ito. How do I move my hands to make the palm face down without twisting? Without twisting. Without twisting. Without hurting. Kunyari, sabi natin, HR, ay dapat I'll take care of the safety of my people. Okay? So how? Ayun, malapit na si sir. Okay? Paano? Ganon? Without twisting. I'm not twisting. Ang twist po kasi ganon. Okay. Okay. So, kunyari, nag-work tayo daily, ha? Sabi nyo, kailangan ko safe yung tao ko every day. I'll design my work so that yung tao ko is safe. Okay. Ang ganda ng work. Okay. If I do that 400 times, what happens? Do I have quality? Do I have quality? Sige po, konti pa. Sir, malapit ka na. Pinipilit no? Okay? So, ano pa po? Sir pa? Pwede din ganyan. So, if I do that 400 times, so, ganyan. So, the people works out. Ano po? Job design. Job design. How do I design that work? Okay, so there's a step. So, spacing up, di po ba? Okay, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ulit-ulitan. Okay, so it's spacing up. So you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a step. There's a step. Ibig sabihin, in every process that we do, there's always a step. No shortcut. Ano po, it's like what I have discussed. It's like what I have discussed. There's a step-by-step approach on how do we go about lean thinking. But the thing is, how do we engage or how do we encourage yung organization natin to join the change? Kasi medyo it's a great departure. It's a great departure from what we have accustomed to. Kasi sanay na ako, ba't mo ako guguluhin? So it's a problem in our organization. So we implemented lean thinking in 1999, but up to this time, there are some portion of the organization that is not practicing lean thinking. So now, HR, how do I prepare my organization to accept that new way of thinking? It's a big challenge. It's a big challenge for everyone. Kasi yun nga, okay, it's a big challenge for all organizations kasi nga po our organization has been implementing lean. Our organization has been implementing lean in 1999. And what's now? 2013. So it's about 14 years, but still, there's a lot of lean practices. Bakit? Kasi hindi pa namin nakukuha yung buy-in ng ibang departments. Ano po? So, lean thinking is not all about the tools. So, lean thinking is all about how do I encourage the organization to depart from that traditional way of thinking. Ano po? So, it's not all about the tools. It's about people. It's all about people. Okay po? So, thank you very much po for listening.
Thank you, Ms. Berna. Actually, si Ms. Berna ay isa sa aming department heads. I will just take this opportunity na ito ay isinishare ng Yasaki Torres and of course ng PMAP Calabarzon as part of its quality and productivity efforts, no? Na may propagate yung quality and productivity rin. Kasi tayo as HR, we are strategic partners ng owners, no? Importante na madrive natin yung industrial peace of mind ng mga tao, and papunta sa profitability ng kumpanya. Kasi kung hindi profitable ang company, paano tayo magbibigay ng benefit sa ating mga tao? No? That's why, importante na mag-transform na tayo into lean thinking. No? So, ito po ay aming kasama sa ipinopromote namin. And in fact, I'll take this opportunity na on May 9, no, yung Employers Confederation of the Philippines isi-share ng experience ng Yasaki Torres at ng Toyota Motor Philippines Corporation yung about lean thinking. It's a lean symposium na mangyayari on May 9 sa Makati Shangri-La Plaza. Hindi po naman ito PMAP, but PMAP is kasama sa nag-advocate nito. At ito yung mangyayari sa Makati Shangri-La Plaza, 7,500, that's maghapon. No? And you will get to meet the mga CEO ng mga companies na kasama namin na magte-testimony how do they practice lean thinking and how did they make their companies become profitable. No? So, Yasaki Torres, Toyota, and iba pa mga CEO na pwede ninyong matanong at makapag-share sila ng kanilang experience. So, medyo mas mahaba yun. No? So, sana pagbalik ninyo, i-convince ninyo ang mga CEO ninyo na umattend doon. Hindi lang ito about manufacturing, it's about services. So, ito'y, and dito naman sa amin, sa PMAP Calabarzon, magkakaroon kami ng mga learning sessions. Dati kasi nasimula na namin yung mga QCC, 5S, 1-point lesson. This time we will go into lean, no? Yung mga concept niya, mas intensive. Ito, overview lang. Overview lang yan. So, ito ay labor of love ng PMAP Calabarzon, ng Yasaki Torres, at ng mga iba pang company na nagpa-practice. We will invite speakers. So, kasi gusto natin na ang Calabarzon ay ma-maintain yung competitiveness. I-keep natin yung mga investors na naririto. No? Because Philippines is now being looked at as a very promising investment site. So, kinakailangan makapture natin at huwag mawala yon. So, magsisimula yan sa atin bilang HR practitioners na we have this kind of thinking. Marami pong salamat. I'll give back to Ms. May Baladan.
Okay, very well said, Mr. President. So, wala tayong masasabi. Talagang Yasaki is showcase ng mga productivity, quality improvement programs. Diba? If you go to Yasaki, we always see dun sa admin nila, maraming lahat na yata ng awards nasa kanila when it comes to quality, productivity. So maraming salamat kay Ms. Verna for that very, very informative presentation on lean thinking. And now we go to a video presentation on the small claims court. Unfortunately, we don't have Attorney Francisco Balderrama this afternoon, but I'll call on our director, one of our directors, Johnson Melo, to give you an overview of this video presentation on small claims court. Palakpakan po natin si Mr. Johnson Melo.
Okay, good afternoon po. I'm Johnson Melo from Lipa Bank. We prepared this presentation together with our legal counsel, Attorney Balderrama. Unfortunately, due to a family issue, he has to back up. But this is the presentation din naman na supposedly represent sa atin. This video came from the Supreme Court of the Philippines discussing the small claims court and ano yung beauty nito para sa atin. As HR practitioners, minsan yung mga employees natin entangled with financial problems, ano? Pero minsan hindi nila nakikita kung ano yung potential risk of borrowing, at the same time lending or being a co-maker. So this video presentation will give us the detailed process kung paano ba tayo halimbawa magpa-file ng case. Kung sakaling meron tayong gustong kolektahin of value to our employees or other people. And ano yung epekto kung di tayo magbayad? Okay. So, this is a 15-minute video and let us all watch this video.
Ito ang kwento ni Lorena. Tuwing alas 6 ng gabi, pumapasok siya sa call center sa Makati para sumagot ng mga tawag tulad ng
I'd like to inquire about my credit card. Bakit sama ng service nyo?
at sa bawat tawag na natatanggap niya, ngingiti lang siya at sasabihin,
Yes, sir. How may I help you?
o kaya naman,
I'm sorry, sir, for any inconvenience that our company has caused you.
simple lang ang buhay ni Lorena. Hanggang sa tumunog ang cellphone niya at nang nakita niyang tumatawag ang nobyo niya.
Hello?
Kamusta ka na? Sweetheart, ang ganda mo siguro ngayon. Tulad ng buwan.
Sasagot si Lorena na tila bagang kilig na kilig sa matatamis na salita ng kanyang nobyo.
Ang sweet mo naman.
Ang hindi niya alam, ang may pakay pala ang pagtawag ni Ramil at ang pakay ay para umutang ng
80,000 lang naman. Lalo mo namin magtayo ng negosyo ni James.
Alam mo namang lahat gagawin ko para sa'yo, di ba?
At dahil pumayag si Lorena pautangin si Ramil ng 80,000, nagsimula ang mga kamalasan sa buhay niya. Nakalipas ang 3 buwan, sawing-sawi si Lorena habang nakikita niyang naglalakad si Ramil palabas ng bahay niya. Nakipaghiwalay na si Ramil sa kanya dahil may iba na siyang minamahal. Ngunit ipinangako naman ni Ramil na
Pinapangako na tayo na! Babayaran ka na bago matapos sa taon!
3 taon ang lumipas at patuloy ang kamalasan sa buhay ni Lorena. Lalo na noong na-diagnose ang kapatid niya ng epilepsya. Dahil dito, napilitan siyang tumigil sa trabaho upang alagaan ang kanyang kapatid ng 24 oras. Ang masakit dito, wala siyang pera para bayaran ang mga gamot nito. Hindi man lang niya kayang dalhin ito sa isang orthopedic center para sa therapy. 3 taon na ang lumipas. Ngunit hindi pa rin nababayaran ni Ramil ang 80,000 na inutang para sa negosyo niya. Sa puntong ito, iniisip ni Lorena na wala na siyang pag-asa. Samantala, sa may kanto ng bahay ni Lorena, may maliit na tindahan ng prutas na pagmamayari ni Victor. 2 taon nang nagbabantay si Victor ng kanyang tindahan at parating may matandang babae na laging pumupunta sa kanya para humingi ng prutas. At si Victor naman, tulad ng parate, ay walang alinlangan nagbibigay sa kanya ng mga prutas. Nililistan niya ito, pati na rin ang presyo ng mga prutas na binigay niya. Ngunit sa araw na ito, matatauhan si Victor habang nililistan niya ang saging na kakabigay lang niya. Umaabot na pala ng 10,000 piso ang pinamigay niyang prutas. Sinigawan niya ang matandang babae habang naglalakad ito palayo sa kanya. Parehong biktima si Lorena at Victor ng magkatulad na sitwasyon. Kahit tila wala na silang paraang masingil ang pera nila, may nilabas ang Korte Suprema na bagong rule of procedure kung saan sila maaring maghabla ng kaso na hindi na nangangailangan ng abogado at gumastos ng malaki. Ang mga kaso tulad ng kay Lorena at Victor ay pwedeng ihabla sa prosesong tinatawag na Rule of Procedure for Small Claims Cases. Ako si Judge Dizon at ito ang Small Claims Cases. Bago na ipatupad ang rule noong ika-18 ng Marso, nagkaroon ng higit 1 taon pagsubok nito sa iilang first-level courts sa tulong ng United States Agency for International Development o USAID at ng American Bar Association Rule of Law Initiative o ABA-ROLI. Sakop ng rule ang mga civil claims na tangi para sa paghabol ng kabayaran na hindi hihigit sa 100,000 piso. Ang mga litigante na sakop ng rule ay maaaring maghabla at magtanggol ng kanilang sariling kaso kahit walang partisipasyon ng abogado. Kaya naman nagiging mas simple at murang paraan ng paglutas ng mga alitan ukol sa pera, di tulad sa mga karaniwang civil process. Sa kaso ni Lorena, hindi pa rin nagbabayad si Ramil ng 80,000 na inutang nito noon, kahit na ipinangako nitong babayaran niya ang utang bago matapos ang taon. Kung nais ni Lorena maghabla ng kaso laban kay Ramil, ito ay dapat maghain sa Small Claims Court. Samantala, kung nais ni Victor maghabla laban sa matandang babae, ito ay dapat maghain sa Small Claims Court dahil sa kanyang pangako na babayaran niya ang mga prutas. Ngunit hanggang ngayon ay hindi pa rin ito nababayaran at umaabot na sa halagang 10,000 piso. Maaari nang simulan ni Lorena at ni Victor ang paghabla ng small claims case. Dalawang lugar ang pwede nilang pagpilian. Ang first level court sa lungsod ng kanilang tirahan o sa lungsod ng tirahan ng kanilang katunggali. Ang korteng ito ay pwedeng Metropolitan Trial Court, Municipal Trial Courts in cities, Municipal Trial Court, o kaya naman Municipal Circuit Trial Court. Dito, tutuloy sila sa Office of the Clerk of Court na magbibigay sa kanila ng mga forms ng Information for Plaintiff, Statement of Claim, at Certification of Non-Forum Shopping.
Si Lorena at Victor na magiging plaintiff sa mga kaso ay kinakailangan na mag-accomplish ng verified statement of claim in duplicate and certify the information provided stating that no action has been filed involving the very same issue in any other court. Sa madaling salita, kailangan nilang patunayan na ang impormasyong binibigyan nila ay totoo at hindi sila nagsampa ng magkatulad na kaso sa ibang korte.
Maliban dito, kailangan din isama ng mga plaintiffs at mahalagang dokumento tulad ng mga pirmadong kontrata kung saan bahagi ang mga defendants o iyong mga hinahabla o kaya ay mga affidavits sa mga testigo upang sa ganon ay magkaroon ng sapat na patunay.
Pagkatapos nito, ang mga maghahabla ay magbabayad ng mga halagang kailangan sa paghain ng kaso. Kapag naisumiti na ang mga dokumento at nabayaran na ang docket fees, idadakit ang mga kaso ng Clerk of Court at iraraffle ng Raffle Committee upang malaman kung sino ang mga ngasiwang hukom. Ngayong natapos ni Lorena at Victor ang mga hakbang, kailangan nilang hintayin ang resulta ng pag-raffle ng kanilang kaso. Mukhang ako ang hahawak sa mga kaso ni Lorena at Victor. Isang magandang pagkakataon. Sa araw na matanggap ng korte ang statement of claim at ang mga kasamang dokumento nito, kailangan alamin ng korte kung ang kaso ng plaintiff ay saklaw ng rule. Kung ang kaso ay saklaw ng rule, aalamin din kung may sapat na dahilan para sa pag-dismiss sa kaso. Kung walang sapat na dahilan, papadalhan ng summons ang defendant. Sa pamamagitan ng summons, utusan ng korte ang mga defendant na maghain ng verified response, kasabay ang pagbigay ng mga supporting documents o katunayan sa loob ng 10 araw mula sa pagtanggap ng summons. Kasama ng summons, makakatanggap rin ang mga defendants ng notice of hearing, information for the defendant, form para sa response at kopya ng statement of claim kasama ang mga annex nito. Maliban rito, magpapadala rin ang korte ng notice of hearing sa mga plaintiff kung saan nakasaad ang petsa at oras ng appearance nila sa korte. May kasama ring babala ang notice of hearing na nagsasaad na hindi papayagan ang mga pagpapaliban ng walang sapat na dahilan. At kung hindi man makakapunta ang sino man sa dalawang panig sa hearing o pagdinig, maaaring kumatawan sa kanila ang kahit sinong kamag-anak na hindi abogado. Sa simula ng hearing, ang hukom ay gagawa ng opening statement at ipapaliwanag ang layunin ng rule para tiyaking malinaw sa bawat partido ang proceedings nang sa gayoy ganahan silang makibahagi sa korte. Pagkatapos, magkakaroon ng settlement proceedings kung saan susubukan ng hukom na mapagkasundo ang mga partido. Ito ang pagkakataon para sa plaintiff at defendant na magkaroon ng compromise agreement. Sa kasong ito, sinusubukang mag-alok ni Lorena na isettle o ayusin ang kaso sa pamamagitan ng pagsabi kay Ramil na magbayad ng
50,000 po sa katapusan ng buwan.
Pero mukhang hindi kaya ni Ramil ang 50,000 sa katapusan ng buwan.
Gusto ko lang matapos ang kasong to. Ngunit wala akong 50,000 para bigay sa iyo sa katapusan ng buwan. Bigyan mo ako ng 3 buwan para mag-ipon at makabayad sa halagang hiningi mo.
Ano bang masabi mo, Lorena? Payag ka. Pumayag si Lorena na bigyan si Ramil ng 3 buwan para magbayad. Kung hindi matupad ni Ramil ang kasunduan, maaaring bumalik si Lorena sa hukuman upang maghain ng motion for execution para singilin ang buong halaga ng napakasunduan. Samantala, ang kaso ni Victor ay nalalagay sa ibang sitwasyon. Lumalabas na ang matandang babae ay naghabla ng counterclaim sa kanyang response o sagot. Ibig sabihin, ang defendant ay humihingi rin ng pera sa taong nagdedemanda sa kanya. Posible ang paghabla ng counterclaim kung naniniwala ang defendant na siya ay dapat bayaran ng plaintiff. Sa kasong ito, naniniwala ang matandang babae na si Victor ang may utang sa kanya at hindi siya ang may utang kay Victor. Ito ay nakasulat sa kanyang response. Malakas ang paniniwala ng matandang babae na mananalo siya laban kay Victor. Walang naganap na settlement. Ang susunod na hakbang para kay Victor ay ang pagdinig na gaganapin rin sa mismong araw ng settlement discussion. Sa kaso ni Victor, nakapagpakita ang matandang babae ng ebidensya na si Victor nga ang may utang sa kanya at hindi siya. Lumalabas na umutang pala si Victor ng pera sa matanda para sa kapital sa kanyang tindahan ng mga prutas at binibigyan pala ni Victor ang matanda ng prutas bilang kabayaran sa 10,000 utang niya. Dahil dito, napagdesisyonan ko na dapat bayaran ni Victor ang matandang babae sa pinsala na ginawa niya. Dahil ang desisyon ng korte sa mga small claims cases ay final and unappealable, ang matandang babae ay maaari kagad maghain ng motion sa korte para sa execution ng desisyon nito. Sa mga kaso tulad nito, walang imposible. Lahat ay may pag-asa. Sa tulong ng small claims process, ang hustisya ay laging maisa sa tupad. Tama ba, Lorena?
Parang classic example ng lean thinking. Actually, yan po ang ginawa ng Korte Suprema para mapabilis ang kaso noong mga small claims na ganito, yung mga 100,000 and below. Ngayon, mostly yung ating mga employees nahaharap sa ganyan. No? Akala nila, pag nakatanggap sila ng summon, baliwala lang. Kapag hindi sila umattend sa hearing, tulad na na-mention dito, pwedeng bumalik sa korte yung naghabla at iuutos ng korte sa kanyang sheriff na puntahan ng bahay at kahit anong pwedeng makuha sa poder noong inihabla ay kukunin. kahit ho yung tsinelas na, ano yun, yung habayanas. Anything of value. Kaya dapat tulungan natin yung ating mga staff na ipaliwanag yung process ng, yung potential risk o legal risk ng borrowing money. Dapat strengthen natin yung ating credibility. In addition to that, once mag-default yung borrower, no, at hindi niya mabayaran, and at the same time na na-file ng kaso na ganito, hindi na-resolve, yung record na yan, makikita natin yan doon sa Negative File Information System, sa Credit Management Association of the Philippines, at sa mga credit bureau. Anong effect? Mag-a-apply kayo halimbawa ng postpaid plan sa telcos, hindi kayo maaprubahan because nag-a-appear yung record nyo na meron kayong issue na hindi na-resolve. So yun yung danger kung pababayaan natin yung issue na yun. Ginagawa na rin namin yan sa bangko because before nagkaroon kami ng ATM loan. No? Unfortunately, yung iba nauuna pang mag-withdraw sa amin, nag-go over the counter. Kaya tinigil na namin. And then those na hindi nakabayad, finala namin ng case. Ingatan din natin yung pagko-co-maker. Kasi jointly and severally liable yung maker o yung borrower at saka yung co-maker. Pwedeng sabay na singilin. Hindi kinakailangang mamatay ang principal borrower bago habulin itong co-borrower. Pwedeng sabay ang pag-file. So, minsan sa sobrang bait natin sa ating staff, sige, co-borrower ako para lang ma-attend yung financial needs mo. Medyo mag-iingat din tayo doon sa puntong yun. Kasi at the same time, pwede rin kung hindi mabayaran ng ating principal borrower, tayo ang habulin. And then, nag-default din tayo, pupuntahan din tayo sa bahay. And there are cases sa court na kasabay ng criminal cases yung schedule. So, minsan nakakahiya na nandun tayo sa open court, doon ginagawa yung hearing. May mga judges na sa office lang nila ginagawa. May mga judges na mismong sa open court. So kasabay tayo ng mga nakaposas during the hearing. So medyo nakakahiya. And last thing na dapat nating tandaan, hindi lang ngayon tayo may pangangailangan. So dapat ma-explain natin na in the future, yung pag-default natin sa payment, may epekto doon sa eventual na pangangailangan natin financially. Walang magtitiwala sa atin. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Johnson. At this point, punta tayo sa Q&A. Meron po ba kayong mga katanungan? Kay Ms. Verna at kay Johnson on the lean thinking. Any more questions? How about?
Pwede ba yung habla yung Mumbai?
Anyone na may claim, may money claim, pwede. Kahit po may mortgage, halimbawa, nag-mortgage ka ng property, ang loan is 100,000 and below, pwedeng hindi mo habulin yung property kung ayaw mo ng property. Pailan natin ang civil case using small claims sa court, and then doon lang tayo maghahabol doon sa amount of loan. In fact, kung halimbawa na-aksidente kayo, nasasakyan, and then may claim kayo doon sa naka-aksidente, ayaw magbayad, pwede nyo rin filean ng case. Hindi lang yung direktang utangan. Anything na meron tayong money claim. Okay. Tapos yung kanina, yung halimbawa, yung co-borrower ang nagbayad. Okay. Hindi nawalan ng responsibilidad yung principal borrower. Because yung co-borrower, pwedeng mag-file ng case against dito sa principal borrower para ma-reimburse siya sa kanyang ibinayad doon sa financial institution.
Okay, ganda yun
Hello. Good afternoon. I think the question regarding the Mumbai, because they are lending, I don't know, illegally, right? Because they are not paying the right taxes. Tama? So, the question is, do they have the right to file that case?
As long as may proof of indebtedness. As long as there is proof of indebtedness, pwede silang mag-file. It is their right. Kasi hindi naman issue yung kung legal o hindi yung kanilang pagpapautang. Ang issue is may utang.
Hello? Other question. Sir, regarding sa sinasabi kanina na maximum amount of 100,000, is that the principal amount, inclusive the interest and penalties?
Okay. Sir, excluded yung interest and penalties at saka yung cost of filing the case.
For example, yung loan niya, nag-accumulate na ng, principal loan is 80,000, nag-accumulate na siya ng 120,000.
Okay.
Pwede pa siyang kasama?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As long as yung principal mo is...
pertaining to the principal amount?
Yes, sir. 100,000 and below in claim.
Interesado lahat sa utang, ano yan. So lahat may idea na kayo. Ako na may idea na ngayon. Manghabol, pwede na pala, no? How small is small? 1,000 pwedeng habulin. Small eh, di ba?
Yan yung dapat na small.
Mas mahal pa yung dapat.
1,000.
O, di 2,000. Kasama na yun sa bako. So pwede pa rin 1,000. Alright.
Yes, ma'am. What if na-file na sa barangay, but then still yung may utang, hindi pa rin nagbayad?
Okay po. Yes. Yung decision ng barangay, kunin natin, and then mag-file tayo ngayon sa small claims court. Pwede po. Kasi minsan sa barangay, nagkaroon ng desisyon na dapat talaga magbayad yung isang party. Unfortunately, hindi pa rin nagbabayad. Yun na yung proof natin na merong indebtedness eh.
Okay. Meron pa? Meron pa maghahabol ng utang? Si Sir Nilo.
Hindi po ako lawyer.
Attorney Melo, yung bang mga like apartment rentals?
Yes, sir. Basta may proof tayo ng indebtedness, may utang silang hindi nabayaran, pwede natin i-file. Kung halimbawa, ang apartment rentals ay tatlong klase, no? Nang-iisang tao. Pwede mo pagsama-samahin yon basta hindi hihigit ng 100,000 piso.
Thank you. So kahit yung mga car rentals, ano?
Ako, maraming hahabulin Sir Nilo. May apartment, may car rental pa. Okay, wala na po ba? Meron po bang katanungan pa? Wala na? Okay, magandang session natin ngayon. Very interesting. Anyway, before we close, I'd like to announce for all the BODs, tsaka yung mga provincial directors natin, we'll have a picture taking downstairs, no, for the souvenir program dun sa ating summit on May 24 and 25. Once again, we'd like to announce May 24, 25, Luzon Summit, BIMAP Luzon Summit in Limas City Hotel. So, ina-expect mo namin kayo makita muli. So, don't forget, ito pong registration form, I think it's available now. You can get it from Pilar. Okay, so, may I call on our Vice President, Sir Ben Colido, for the closing. Palakpakan po natin si Sir Ben.
Excellent thinking. Meron ka, attorney? May paragraphs daw.
Pwede pong malaman ano ipaparaffle nyo? Ikaw. Sa ano po ito? Sa Microtel. Meron ba daw kayo mga cards? Ipamigay nyo na kay Sir Miss Pilar at ipaparaffle na natin ang... Ano pong makukuha nila?
Okay, sige po. Siguro habang we're going to collect the business cards, yung wala pong mga business cards, you can write your contact details on a piece of paper and then pakibigay po sa atin. I'm from Microtel and I'll be giving 2 gift certificate. It's an overnight accommodation valid until tonight. Hindi, it is valid until December 2013. This is entitled for 2 person with buffet breakfast at our very own Millis restaurant. And unfortunately, you can use this one on a billing on your convention this coming May 24 and 25. Kaya dalawa yung ipamimigay ko po. And siguro naman majority of the participants will be having my freebies. I'll be giving also, this is a discount coupon card, 50% discount po. Ngayon po, for the rates of the rooms, we have 3 types of rooms, the single, the double, and suite. For the single room, all the room rates are valid for 2 persons po. Regular rate po namin is 4,600. For the double room, which is 2 king size bed, it's amounting to 5,200. For the suite room, it's amounting to 5,900. Yung 50% discount po, for the single room, good for 2 person with buffet breakfast, 2,300 na lang po. Yun po ang rate ng 50% discount. For the double room, it's 2,600. Kung double sharing po kayo, mag-share lang kayo ng 1,300, murang-mura na po. Apo. Salamat, Mamana. Apo. This is for Microtel Batangas po. It is located at Santo Tomas, First Philippine Industrial Park po. Yung po mga participants natin will be having free shuttle po. In the morning at saka po pagkatapos ng seminar natin. Kami rin po sa Microtel attend din po kami ng convention. Ayun. Ayan. Collect na sila. This 50% discount po is valid only for your Luzon Summit. Ayan. Wala na daw. I have here 30 discount coupon. 50% discount coupon. Later on, pamimigay po natin yung gift certificate. Ayan. May free shuttle po ito. Sige, sir. Siguro naman, parang walang 30 eh. Sobrang lean yan eh. Sobrang lean. Ayan. So kung kayo po ang nanalo, please come in front. Our first lucky winner is from Mount Malarayan, Sir Alvin. Ayun, 50% discount. Bunutin ko na sa medyo madami eh. Another one is from Yamaha, Miss Marilu. Ayan. Salamat po. Another winner from Art Nature, Miss Emelinda de la Peña. Thank you, ma'am. Another winner from PMAP, Miss Pilar. Our secretariat. Mag-check-in ka sa Microtel. Ay, picture daw. Next winner. Wow, ang katabi ko sa aking upuan. From Balay Isabel, Club Balay Isabel, Miss Leia. Ayan, sadyang kinuha ko yung katabi kita eh. GC. Another winner from Union Galva Steel, Miss Sherry. Ayun, makikiabot na nga po kay Ma'am Sherry. Next winner from I'm Digital Philippine Inc. from FPIP, Sir Paul. Tama ba, FPIP? Ayun, kapitbahay ko si Sir Paul. From Purukawa, Miss Emma. Ayan po. Ano sir, okay ka lang? Hindi ka ba nangangali ng... Again, from Art Nature, Sir Felix. Ayan. Ano to? Paano pronunciation ito? UTEC ba? Company ma'am. UTEC? Tama ba? Miss Jonapel? 50% discount. From Lipa Bank, Miss Udette. Ayun. MJ Kagara. Ayun. Si Ma'am MJ isa, Lipa Bank also. Ayan. Sir Johnson Melo. Akalain mo nga yun. Kalugin nga natin, sir. Nakakahalata tayo. From Power Lane, Miss Janet Alcantara. Oo nga. Nawala na yata. Ayun pala ma'am, sorry. Nandito. Nandito tayo nakatingin eh. From Kabalikat sa Hanap Buhay, Multipurpose Cooperative, Sir June. Oo nga sir. Thank you sir ha. Kung 100 pa lang dinala natin, okay na exercise to, no? Ano to? From Bakuli Balconcia Optical, Dr. Ruben. Ayun, si Sir Ruben. Sir. Again, from Mount Malarayat, Miss Eileen Ekal. Ayun. 1,000 yata yun. Again, from Power Lane Resources, Miss Vicky. Ayun. From Mariwasa Siam Ceramics, Miss Maida. Siyempre ma'am, tayo namimigay. Sir, ikaw, hindi ka pa nabubunot, no? Naglagay ka ba? From Simisetsu, Philippines, Miss Alicia. Meron po. Ma'am? Yeah, pwede po. The discount card, pwede. Pwede, oo. Pwede. Again, from Club Balay Isabel, Miss Cecil. Hello po. From Shims. Miss Cecil San Miguel. Again, from Shims, Miss Ana Bukis. Kinakalog yan, ha? Kinakalog yan. Ikaw yata ito. From Knights of Corps Security Agency Inc. Sir Benjamin. Ikaw, di ba? Parang planted, no? From Richelle Marketing Center, Sir Nilo. Oo nga, siya yung tumulong sa akin eh. Bibigyan ko na to. Gusto yata yung free. Nagreklamo sir, gusto yung free. Again, from Showa Polymer Process Corporation, Miss Maribel. Ayun. From I'm Digital Philippine Inc., Miss Rosalie. Ayan, pakikisuyo na po. From Ikawa Philippines Inc., Miss Eva. Ayaw daw niya. Sayang, ayaw mo nun. From iResource Consulting International Inc., Mr. Jose Edgardo Solis. Nasaan si Sir Edgardo? Ayun. Last one. Last one for the 50% discount coupon. Ayan. The name of a person. From Showa, Miss Leia. Nanalo na ba si Miss Leia? Ayun. Ayun. Sir. More to come. It's an overnight accommodation with breakfast valid until December 2013. Pwede niyo po siyang gamitin on the Luzon Summit if you want. Pwede rin po tonight. Kung medyo nagmamadali kayo, pwede rin tonight. And talaga naman pinahirapan ako. And the winner from Showa Polymer Process Corporation, Mr. Rodel. Ayan. Last na po. Last na to. Salamat po sa inyong pag-iintay, for your patience. Ang dami ito. Hindi pwede. From Showa Polymer, Miss Corazon Chua, the manager. Ayan. Inuubos ng Showa. Salamat po from Microtel.
Okay. Ilang announcement na lang uli. Kanina may sinabi ako about Lean Symposium. No? So, would like to call Miss Jean Maligaya from ECO, EIPC. Palakpakan po natin si Miss Jean. Sige. Kasi magtatapos na kami.
Pasensya na po kung medyo late. I'm Jean Maligaya from ECO Institute for Productivity and Competitiveness. I understand a while ago, Ms. Berna presented lean manufacturing process and techniques. Now, as a follow-through, we have a program, a symposium on May 9. And this is being organized by ECOP, our mother organization, and ECOP Institute. And our main speakers are from Toyota Motor Philippines, Mr. Matsunobu Sugata, medyo pagod pa ako. And the president of Yazaki Torres, Mr. Feliciano Torres. So the forum will be a short talk from these leaders about lean. They will share lean leadership from the point of view of a CEO. So after a short presentation, there will be a presentation as well from the VPs of operation of Toyota Motor Philippines and Yazaki Torres. And then a 2.5 hours open forum. So the objective of the open forum is so that you can pick the minds of these leaders. You can ask questions about how lean manufacturing helped the company become what it is today. So after that, in the afternoon session naman, there will be a presentation of 3 companies, EMS Components, a manufacturer of chips for the IT industry, Auto Carpets, who is also the president of the owner of Auto Carpet is also the Toyota Suppliers Club president. And he will also show how lean effectively improved their company and how it helped this company become the #1 supplier of Toyota in the Philippines. In fact, they were able to receive an award under the entire region of the ASEAN. They are the first Philippine beneficiary of this award. So they contribute that to lean manufacturing. And the third is Pacific International Corporation. They manufacture PBS. And from nothing, no productivity improvement at all in the organization, no program. they started lean, and through a quick leap, they were able to improve their company dramatically using this technology and this process technology and approaches. So this symposium would like to help you really from if you are in a baseline or in a zero level approach to productivity. Using this could really help you in a year's time or 1 year, even 6 months, improve your operation. So I hope you can participate in this symposium. It's very cheap, 7,500 per person. Buffet from Shangri-La. And at the same time, there's also an opportunity for CEOs to attend only in the morning and then exchange the afternoon session with your operations manager. So the CEO can attend in the morning, pick the brains of these leaders, and then palit kayo. Send your operations manager in the afternoon so that he can benchmark from the small companies, small medium companies, how they implemented the program. So 7.5 parang hinati, 3.5 lang or something. Ang mura pa rin, then buffet. Pero yung food, of course, tatlo lang din yun. Morning snack, lunch, and afternoon. So if the CEO will take the lunch, hindi na pwede take nung operations manager, so mag-usap na lang sila. So it's very cheap, 7.5. So I hope you grab this opportunity and participate in this symposium. We're giving you the brochure of BIPC, and then the background of our speakers, and also the program. And if you would like to participate, there is a contact number at the back of our brochure. You can email us or call us, and we will get in touch. You can get in touch with us. We will give you the application forms and other requirements for your participation. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Jean. Palakpakan naman natin si Ms. Jean. Akala ko artista eh. Bago tayo maghiwalay at bago sa closing remarks ng ating Vice President, bigyan natin ng chance ang sponsor ng ating, ano ba tawag ito? Live streaming, no? May we call on the President of IT Resource. Palakpakan po natin.
I'm Joe Ed Solis, President of iResource Consulting. Nakikita ko yung isang friend ko doon sa likod. iResource is actually the sponsor of this streaming together with NowPlanet.TV. In a few days, makikita niyo itong activities natin dito doon sa pmap.nowplanet.tv. So if you want to view the event that happened here and that happened in Manila, just go to pmap.nowplanet.tv. So, mapapanood nyo doon. We were the one who live streamed the Cebu Annual Conference last year. So, if you remember, it was live streamed. Kung tinatamad kang umattend doon sa event, punta ka sa kwarto mo, mapapanood mo yung event. And in terms of iResource Consulting naman, we are a provider of IT skilled professionals. If you need IT skilled professionals, alam ko ang pinakamahirap hanapin are IT skilled professionals. And we can provide that. We are a provider of Globe Telecoms, Friend Micro. We provide to Metro Bank and other companies, even up to Baguio, kaya namin magpadala. We were able to place people sa isang friend ko doon. So, hi. We have people, IT professionals currently deployed sa Isuzu Philippines. So, yun. Anumang skills yan, tell us, we will provide you with that one. Now, it's either manpower augmentation or placement. Kasi sa panahon na to, if you have a project and that project will last for 6 months, definitely ayaw mo mag-hire ng permanent. 6 months mo lang kailangan ng tao. So, what we did is, we can provide you these people. Actually, they are part of our cooperative. We have a cooperative of IT knowledge professionals. We call this the Knowledge Professional Services Cooperative. Puro IT professionals na nandiyan. And right now, we have about 140 to 150 currently deployed to various projects. Okay? If you need our help, si Jason, one of our senior account manager, nandiyan lang sa labas, can ask a lot of things about how we can do this. Now, if ang kailangan nyo non-IT, basta on the professional level, pwede rin. We can deploy finance people, HR people. We can do that. Right? Thank you.
Okay, so last but not least, Sir Vice President Ben Polito.
Before we finally close, thank you so much for the sponsors, for Ms. Jane of ACON, Ms. Berna from Lane Thinking Overview, and Attorney Johnson Melo. And then also, I would like to announce again na sa next month ay wala ho tayong GMM. Instead, we have the so-called 7th PMAP Luzon Summit. Kaya kailangan po ang inyong attendance dito. At dito po ang forms na pipilapan nyo at ay magsama-sama tayo ulit sa May 24 and 25. Tayo po yung host, kaya dapat mahusay tayo rito. There are 11 chapters to come from Baguio down to Bicol. So thank you so much for coming and see you on May 24, 25.